Excellencies, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, on behalf of the Parliament of the Republic of Azerbaijan, I greet you all at the parliamentary forum held in the context of the G20 Parliamentary Speakers Summit. I would like to thank Her Excellency Dr. Puan Maharani, the Speaker of the House of Representatives of the Republic of Indonesia, for giving us the opportunity to participate in and address this highly respected forum. Hosting Parliamentary Forum and the G20 Parliamentary Speakers Summit is a clear expression of commitment and dedication of the House of Representatives of the Republic of Indonesia to multilateralism, global solidarity, and interparliamentary cooperation. Honorable colleagues, today's challenge such as poverty, humanitarian crises and conflicts, social inequalities, climate change, and others cannot be dealt with separately. The valuable lesson that COVID-19 taught us is that global challenges require global solutions. Collective efforts and joint actions are of utmost importance. We parliamentarians, as the representatives of our people, have the responsibility to participate in debates on finding the best possible solutions to the challenges that concern all of us. Parliamentary cooperation platforms are the proof of our commitment and determination to work together for a better world. In this sense, the G20 Parliamentary Speakers Summit is indispensable in determining the role that parliaments can play and the level of their contributions to the solution of today's problems. It provides an important framework for bringing parliaments together and holding comprehensive discussions on various aspects of the parliament-government collaboration. Based on previous experiences and results, it is evident that Parliamentary Speakers Summit generate new ideas, perspectives, and opportunities for greater and closer global cooperation. I am sure that this 8th summit will also be an important platform in this respect. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to participate here both as the Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Chair of the Parliamentary Network of the Non-Aligned Movement, which is a new framework of interparliamentary cooperation. It has been established by the initiative of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, His Excellency Mr. Ilham Aliyev, as the Chair of the Non-Aligned Movement, with the aim to expand and deepen interaction between the parliamentarians of the non-member states. This is a proof of Azerbaijan's strong support and commitment to interparliamentary cooperation. Last November in Madrid, we inaugurated the Parliamentary Network of the NAM on the sidelines of the 143rd Assembly of the Interparliamentary Union. In order to ensure the efficiency of the network, right after the inaugural meeting, the Parliament of Azerbaijan started the work on procedural documents and working modalities, which were later communicated to member parliaments and agreed upon. The Baku conference, held in June this year in Azerbaijan, became an important milestone in development of the parliamentary network. With participation of more than 40 member parliaments and 8 international parliamentary organizations, we adopted the statute on working modalities of the network, as well as its official logo and flag. We also elected the chairperson and vice chairpersons of the network for the coming 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still at the beginning of the process. The next conference of the non-parliamentary network is planned to be held in the framework of the 146th Assembly of the IPU in Manama in March next year. As the incumbent chairperson of the non-parliamentary network, I would like to share with you my firm belief that the network will become an important asset to promote multilateralism, dialogue, and interparliamentary cooperation. The parliamentary network of the non-aligned movement is ready to contribute to common goals by actively engaging with other parliamentary organizations. Establishment of the youth organization of NAM in July this year on the basis of the youth network, and the initiative to create the NAM support office in New York are also steps undertaken by Azerbaijan in institutional development of the NAM. Besides, with the aim to achieve greater solidarity and multilateral cooperation to overcome the COVID-19 pandemic, Azerbaijan initiated a special session of the United Nations General Assembly, which took place in December 2020, and a resolution on ensuring equal, affordable, timely, and universal access to COVID-19 vaccines, which were adopted at the United Nations General Assembly and Human Rights Council with an overwhelming support of the member states. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, His Excellency Mr. Ilham Aliyev, has also proposed to establish a United Nations high-level panel on global recovery from the COVID-19 that would focus on preparing recommendations on global measures for post-pandemic period. Honorable colleagues, if we want to achieve tangible results of collective efforts aimed at solving the problems of international concern, we should strengthen the efficiency of international institutions, implement adopted documents, and dismiss double standards and selective approaches. Unfortunately, in many cases, countries suffer from this harsh reality. Azerbaijan has also witnessed it on its own experience. 20% of the internationally recognized territories of Azerbaijan were under the occupation of our neighbor Armenia for almost 30 years. Armenia carried out ethnic cleansing that resulted in more than 1 million Azerbaijanis becoming refugees from Armenia and internally displaced persons from occupied territories. Almost 4,000 citizens of Azerbaijan, both civilians and military, still remain missing in connection with the conflict from the beginning of the 90s. During the years of occupation, Armenia deliberately destroyed all our cities and villages, vandalized all historical, cultural, and religious sites of Azerbaijan. 4 resolutions adopted by the United Nations Security Council in 1993, as well as the resolutions and decisions of the United Nations General Assembly, the non-aligned movement, the OSCE, the OIC, and other relevant international organizations demanded immediate, complete, and unconditional withdrawal of armed forces of Armenia from Azerbaijan's occupied territories. However, they were ignored by Armenia. While some resolutions of the United Nations Security Council are implemented within days, in our case, in case of Azerbaijan, they remained unfulfilled for 27 years. Unfortunately, no sanctions were imposed on the aggressor state by international organizations. Azerbaijan implemented United Nations Security Council resolutions, norms and principles of international law, restored its territorial integrity and historical justice on its own. In November 2020, Armenia was forced to sign an act of capitulation following the 44-day war that started as a result of its military provocations. Ladies and gentlemen, despite being the victim of occupation and the country that liberated its occupied territories, it is Azerbaijan which continues efforts to ensure long-term peace and stability in the region for the last 2 years. Azerbaijan proposed to Armenia to normalize relations and sign a peace agreement on the basis of 5 principles of international law: recognition of sovereignty and territorial integrity of each other, delimitation and demarcation of borders will lead to peace and stability in the region. However, Armenia shows a destructive position in the negotiations conducted with international efforts, creates obstacles to the process of opening of communications and transport routes in the region, and delays the normalization process with its military provocations, the last one being perpetrated on September 13 this year. Such actions should be condemned. The most important thing now is to refrain from the actions that will disrupt the process of normalizations of relations, which is the only way to ensure a long-term peace and stability in the region. Thank you very much for your attention.